backside has some information and also some pointers regarding what should be inside the box. The box is actually very sturdy and I've kept it for all this time, stored inside through a cross-country move. First up, we have a manual. The manual has some general information inside, also various ways to contact them. You can even Skype them. It also comes with a glove, which I've actually used various times. Let me model it for you. Looks like. Also, we have a few clips. In the side compartment is actually the cable. It's a fairly long cable. I'd say this cable is about 2 meters. And then we get the good stuff. We now have the tablet. The tablet has branding on the bottom, the power button on the left side, as well as the power plug is on the left side. And then on the top and side, there's centimeter rulers which go up to 21 centimeters and 30 centimeters to give you some perspective. This is an A4 size tablet. And the power plug is also on this side. The back side has 4 rubber pads to keep it from slipping. I do use it on my lap and it's sturdy enough to do that. Oh, hi! This is, I would say, the normal way to use a tablet, but this is probably the more common way to be using this tablet, for me at least. At first I was worried because the cable is a little bit flimsy, but this tablet has not broken once in the 3 years that I've used it. I've traveled with it, I've moved across the country with it, and by that I mean put it back into the box and also brought it with me inside of a backpack. I've used it on my lap like this. It's lightweight. I absolutely adore this tablet, or Light Pad I should say. So what it's actually intended for is for transferring your drawings. So let's say you have a sketch on paper and then you get out your real paper, because generally erasing too much is not the best for paper. So you can make a mess, get your idea on paper, put your real paper on top, turn on the Light Pad, and transfer it. Generally I sketch at night, so that's another perk. I'm able to draw at night. So actually, I like this Light Pad for the original intention, as well as it being like a physical Photoshop if you need to trace and move something. So here's the original drawing. I want to be able to move these feet over a little bit. So I just put the feet wherever I need them to be. And draw it again. But also, I like having some extra light underneath my drawing, because a common problem that I have with normal light sources is that there's always a shadow from my hand, and having some sort of light source underneath combats that and makes working on a drawing for extended periods of time actually easier on my eyes, which might sound strange, but once you start using a Light Pad, you'll find that having some extra light underneath is actually very useful. You can just wipe it down extremely easily. I actually got this Light Pad gifted to me for Christmas in 2017 and I've loved it ever since. I've even considered getting a larger version just as like a second layer for my table. I've made a different decision since then. However, for as far as I know, my tablet was ordered through Amazon. The plug is a US plug. They don't provide any other plugs inside of the box. Depending on where you order from, you may be able to get a different plug. I'd just look into that. Where's my cable? I can't see anything. Oh dear. Problem solved! E51 Milky White, Soft Sun, and this is Crescent Rendr paper that I'm drawing on, and that dry down is so wonderful. Fruit Pink, Lipstick Natural, Light Suntan. Oh, let's make some space for that. There we go. That's an easy fix. Hazelnut. That's one of my favorites, actually. Maybe it's because hazelnuts are my favorite nuts, I'm not sure. Or maybe because I have two. Why do I have two? Cocoa Brown. So here these are, fully dried on render paper. Move these guys out. We are now outside in the shadow. This is what it looks like there. Let's actually take a look at this in sunlight as well. And this is full-on sunlight. As you can see, that EO2 and E13 are really saturated. I find when you scan it, it definitely does not show up that well, so let's take a look at that. As you can see, E51 completely disappeared into the paper. However, if we take a second layer and multiply it, you can see that all the colors are definitely more intensified, and it can bring out these colors. As you can see, no matter how much I change it, it looks like E51 just completely disappeared into the paper, which can really mess with your scanned drawings. I've never quite understood this about Copic because they're created with printer ink, which is like the startup here. So let's actually see if maybe things can change with different settings. Doesn't look like it, but you can get a better idea of how the other colors look. I usually use multiply and do it about half. This generally gives the most accurate color to the marker. Looks like no matter what we do, the scanner just is not going to pick up on E51, so clearly it just requires either different paper or a different means of photography.